Well, hello everyone. It's Savella I Love, and here we are on this channel getting back to living and loving life again after a major life-altering loss, such as being widowed. So tonight I've got something I want to share with you that is just so important, so useful, so helpful, that I just had to share it with you. Now, what I'm going to share with you tonight is going to help to maybe transform how you're grieving right now. If you're stuck in the guilt and the sadness of the loss that you've experienced, there is light at the end of the tunnel, but sometimes it's extremely hard to see that. And what I've learned in my 20 years plus of clinical experience and helping people to heal and move forward after horrible events in their life is that the narrative we carry around the particular event makes a huge difference in how we cope with it. And when we've lost someone that we love deeply, most of the people on this channel have been widowed, that we feel like there's this other half of us that's just missing. And even if we want to maybe believe that possibly they still exist on the other side, there's just this sense of what if they don't? It's kind of like when you're a child and you believe in Santa Claus, but you're starting to think that maybe he's not real, but you want to believe because if you don't, maybe you won't get presents on Christmas. This is a matter of faith a lot, but also too, loved ones on the other side are often trying to come through and give us messages, and they want us to be happy. They want us to be happy. Now, if you're grieving and deeply, deeply sad, of course you should be. This is a rite of passage we have to go through when we have lost someone dear to us. So it's not just like they're gone and, oh, I should be happy, so I'm going to be happy all the time. But the difference is between carrying the sadness in your heart that's going to be there as space grows around a little teeny bit at a time, creates more space in your life for something more to arise. There's going to be moments where happiness is a possibility. And a lot of people, when they're grieving, they will eschew the happiness. They'll push it away and say, no, I am not going to allow myself to be joyful because my loved one's dead. Damn it. They're dead. So I can't be happy because they're not here. What I want to propose to you is that if it's possible, we continue on after the death of the body. Then we're energy. The consciousness that makes us that which you loved and knew, that continues on. The energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. And if it can be transformed, and we cross the veil away from the physical life that's full of the polarities of the positive and negatives, where we have to have the sadness in order to have the joy. You have sadness because you had joy. You have sadness because you had love. Now, what continues to exist is that love. It carries on. And on the other side, it is this essence of love that we then all come back into after we leave this schoolyard of the earth. We go back into love, back into the fold of the arms of infinity, of never-ending life. Because that which is real cannot be destroyed. That means that which you loved and knew about them cannot be destroyed. The love that you had cannot be destroyed. And here's the kicker. They're sitting in the seat of joy. They're detached from the ego of this life, and now they have this vision. They can see clearly beyond the personality that may have, swarfed them in physical pain or emotional pain or psychological pain. A difficult lot in this life, any of those things are all gone. And they're happy. They're happy. But it makes them sad to see us sad. And so if they're happy on the other side, would you too maybe have the right to be happy as well? I'm going to say that again. If they are happy, could you allow yourself to be happy again too? Now, being happy doesn't mean I'm going to be happy all the time. Toxic positivity. No, not that. But that when joy arises, when you're having dinner guests, or you're watching a movie, or you're enjoying your grandchildren or your child, and you feel joy in that moment, don't squash it. Don't squash it. Allow it to arise. Allow it to come up in you. And laugh. Because laughter moves the pain out of the body. Laughter therapy is a real thing, folks. It's a real thing. Because as grief is an energy that sits in the body, joy and laughter can help to start to move that out of there. So does physical exercise. Consciously allowing ourselves to engage in the conscious exercise or the conscious movement of the body, dance, any of those things, weightlifting, walking, getting out and gardening, anything, but you do it with a conscious intention will help you to move the grief through the body so that energy starts to be able to transform into something else as the pain that your loved one who died may have been sitting in, emotional, psychological, physical, and then as they transformed out of that into the next life, away from the pain of the body, they transform the energy. You too can transform your energy as well. That energy of grief, transform it into something more useful, more practical, more helpful in allowing you to still be here, still here. While grief is an important process for us, so is moving out of grief and into a life that you can love again. Because you're still here for a reason. Now I want to share something with you tonight. This is a post that was shared by a group member in the private Facebook group, Permission to Love Again. You're welcome. If you're a widow or a widower, I invite you to join. You can just go to Permission to Love Again and then ask to join the group there and answer the questions. Of course, you got to do that. But a poster shared this, and now he didn't write it. I did not write this. I do not know who wrote this. If you know who wrote it, please put it in the chat below because I'd love to be able to credit the author. So at this moment, I'm going to share this with you, and it's going to be impactful. So stay tuned for this. Okay. So this is called A Letter from Heaven. Okay, are you ready? So this is A Letter from Heaven, and presumably written by our loved one on the other side. Listen up. Hi, it's me. I just wanted to drop you a line to let you know that I'm okay. You know, the strangest part about my passing is I don't feel gone from you. I do hear you talk to me, and most of the time, I'm just trying to get you to feel my presence. I also smile when you keep asking me for signs that you set up. I promise that they will come when you least expect it. I really do try. Please stop saying you can't feel me. When I see you laugh, it vibrates through my being. And I smile too. You know, feelings like guilt, anger, regret, and immense sadness sometimes builds a barrier between us. Everyone grieves differently. However, my hope is that the signs I send help take the edge off, even for a quick moment. I would love for you to try harder to let go of those heavy layers that put the weight of the world on your shoulders. I might actually be able to come to you more easily. Finding the balance between feeling it to heal it and being stuck in it is a fine line. I honor how you grieve. No, you couldn't have saved me. No, you shouldn't have done more. Yes, you made the right decision. I realize now that this earthly experience is all about finding our way back to love. All the rest is just part of that tough journey we call life. Thank you for letting me be your teacher. Until we meet again, I promise me that you will love with all your heart. Forgive in ways you thought not possible. Release anger that no longer serves you. And slide into home plate saying, I did it. I lived for you. I honor your memory by finding joy again. Love always, me. Now again, I don't know who wrote that. So if you do, please give them credit below and I'll give them credit where credit's due. But it was beautiful. And I hope that that touched you as much as it touched me and so many other people that have read it. It's very powerful. And if you think about what your loved one could potentially say to you, it's going to be this. I have done so much spiritual study in my lifetime. And a lot of that has included near-death experiences, life after death stories, understanding and hearing the information that competent and qualified spiritual mediums bring through, messages from loved ones on the other side. And if you ever listened to any of those yourself, what do they say? They say these things. But we sit in the grief and we feel like this pain that we're carrying inside somehow is a badge of honor, and that if we just are sad enough, long enough, that we could get closer to them. Because sometimes our pain makes us feel a little closer. But what I love about this little essay is this little message from heaven is that oftentimes that pain that we sit in does create a barrier between us and them. Because pain and sadness is a very dense energy. It's very dense. And if you think about, you're in a fog, right? It's hard to see someone through the fog. They're there, but the fog's so dense you can't see them. But on a bright, clear, sunny, chipper day, it's very clear. You can see everything. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. So when we want to connect and feel their presence and see the signs of our loved ones, knowing that when we're able to move into a little bit lighter space, okay, not that we don't have sadness upon us still, but that we move into a lighter space to where the focus isn't just here, but the focus is now up and out. So where the sadness may remain, the focus is up. And when we're up, we can receive more of what life has to bring to us, and possibly even receive more of the signs or symbols or communications or dreams, or that feeling of connection that you long for your loved one on the other side. And even though you still have this deep love, and they still have a deep love for you, they want us to be happy. And wanting us to be happy means being able to continue to live this life. And for many of you, that may mean loving a new person again. For many of you, it doesn't mean that. But it does mean embracing life and all that it may have to offer for you. Moving from this, which is the early stages of grief, ones we must all go through, moving into this. You ever walk down the street and you're looking down and you're looking down and you're looking down, or you're in a building, you're looking down, and then all of a sudden you think, what happens if I look up? And you see the most beautiful artwork on the ceiling. Or there's some fantastic birds doing really fun things in the sky, or you spot a rare eagle flying by, or the bird that you haven't seen in years because you've been looking down. Look up. hear the voice of love, of new passion, new purpose, and new meaning calling you out, outside your pain, and into this new life that no, you didn't ask for, but when you're in, can you find a way to embrace it and make this new life yours? Because it is yours. What will you do with the rest of it? Because your loved ones want you to have joy again, because they can feel your joy and share in it with you.